Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing here in Hachzeg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 57, and we are beginning a new topic, something that is on the minds and the hearts, hopefully, of every Yid in Klal Yisrael, and that is the topic of Eretz Yisroel, the land of Israel itself. Keeping in mind, I don't believe the Pele Yoetz made it to Eretz Yisroel in his lifetime. He lived out far away, as we saw from the beginning, in the more European, Afghani countries. And although that he was not within Eretz Yisroel itself, the gaguim, the desires and the yearning to be there, obviously we'll see from his words, something that was strong, and that he encourages that all of us should be strong in our yearning to be in Eretz Yisroel. Eretz Yisroel, Hatzvi Yisrael. Eretz Yisroel is the precious Israel, the precious land of Israel. Yadua Ma'losa Kiraba, we know that the beauty and the glory is great of Eretz Yisrael. K'mevaya Bezar HaKadosh, like it writes in the Zohar, Ubishar Sifrei HaKadosh, and other mystical works, Asher Yivcha Hashem Yakriv Elav Lachsais B'noyim Hashem Ulavake Be'echoloi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants that everybody should come, Lachsais B'noyim Hashem, they should bask in the glory of Hashem and visit his Heichel, his sanctuary. And he's understanding from the Zohar, what does that mean? Eretz Yisrael is the sanctuary in this world of the Ribbono Shel Olam. And that's where you're going to find the Shekhinah, that's where you're going to find Hashem. A person needs that his eyes and his heart are focused on Eretz Yisrael all of the days of his life. You're walking around the streets of Los Angeles, California. You are driving in a taxi in somewhere in Borough Park or in Flatbush or Manhattan. You are standing in a Beis HaKnesses in Baltimore or Australia, wherever you might be, and you're davening to the Ribbono Shel Olam. But libo, eino v'libo, your eyes and your heart have to be focused someplace else, not in the restaurant on Central Avenue over there, and it's not in the beautiful shul, magnificent shul somewhere in the streets of Italy. No, the place where your eyes and your heart should be focused is, I want to be in Eretz Yisrael. Al derech hakosov, like it says in the Tehillim, Tzama nafshi le'Elokim, my nefesh is thirsting for Elokim, lekel chai, to the living God, masai avai, when will I come? Ve'eroe penei Elokim, and see the face of Hashem. And he understands in this pasuk, it means, when will I have the schus to go to the place where you can come to the Penei Elokim, the face, the Pinimis, the essence of Hashem in Eretz Yisrael. Uvechein, therefore, Yishtadel b'cholois, a person should put in all effort. Ligbaya dirosai be'Eretz Yisrael, to affix their dwelling place in Eretz Yisrael. Rak yifkach einov techila, however, your eyes must be opened in the beginning. Shalom is that you shouldn't come to regret your decisions, and that you shouldn't have to end up leaving Eretz Yisrael and go back to from where you came. Now the Pele Yoetz is going to explain over here that in those days, conditions in Eretz Yisrael were very difficult, very hard to live. Finances, making a living, having money to be able to put the basic necessities, essentials on your table was nearly impossible. And many people had grandiose dreams. They're going to move to Eretz Yisrael, they're going to be in the Holy Land, they're going to be in Yerushalayim HaKodesh, everything's going to be amazing, and then they get there, they have not a penny to their name. They cannot find a job, they cannot support their family, children, a wife, and so on and so forth, and then they had to leave. Says the Pele Yoetz, and this is the advice he's going to give, if you're going to move, if you're going to make that move, which is where every Yid is dreaming about being all the days of their life, make sure that when that move is made, you'll be able to stay there ad bias goyal tzedek till Mashiach will come. And therefore he recommends you should only move to Eretz Yisrael when you're elderly, when you're older. Only after one's wife has gone through the process, I guess we'll call it menopause, where she will no longer be able to have children, because he feels, as we'll see, children are very costly and very difficult to raise. And it's not going to be easy in Eretz Yisrael when you have no money. He says, don't even bring with you sons and daughters to Eretz Yisrael. But if Hashem has increased your boundaries of wealth, which means you have money, you can bring a daughter with you. Because eventually she's going to get married, she'll leave the house, and you'll be saved from having to pay for her. But don't bring your son at all. Because he's going to get married. He's going to have a lot of his own children. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have any money. He's going to come to you. How are you going to support them? You have no idea what's going to be. So, again, the Pele Yoetz is telling you that in his days, it was so difficult to live in Eretz Yisrael. If you're going to go there, you have to set yourself up with all of the best possibilities so that to ensure that you'll be able to stay there. And that means financially you'll be able to take care of yourself with children and with a wife that can still bear you more children. And the family's going to grow and grow and grow. That's more mouths to feed. That's more diapers to change. That's more clothes you have to put and shoes on their feet. Too much for a person, says the Pele Yoetz. It's going to end up driving you out of Eretz Yisrael. And therefore come, when you're older, your kids you left somewhere in America where they were, you and your wife come, you want to live out the rest of your years with Kedusha and Tahara and holiness and sanctity. Now don't tell this Pele Yoetz over to Nefesh B'Nefesh, because their whole operation is to bring mishpachos, families to Eretz Yisrael. And really, the truth is, it's a very different world. Baruch Hashem, Eretz Yisrael has financially developed over the last many centuries, and there are more jobs and opportunities and money that's available, and you have so many people that are able to conduct their business in America while they're in Eretz Yisrael. They work American hours, they come to America maybe once a month, once every couple of months, do a few days or a week or so of business, and they go back. So, yes, you could move today with your children, and you could move with your daughters and your sons, and you could go today if your wife is still young and you'll have more children, B'ez Hashem and Eretz Yisrael. It's all good. In Yetz Hashem, it's going to work out for the best. Ve'hein emes, sha'avira de Eretz Yisrael machiv. It's true. The avira, the air, the atmosphere of Eretz Yisrael, it makes a person wiser. However, our eyes see. It's very difficult to make a living in Eretz Yisrael. And in general, most people have to leave. They lose out on the mitzvah of living in Eretz Yisrael, and they wander around foreign lands for 10 years trying to make a living. They live a life of suffering, and their wives are suffering even more. Imagine the exuberant joy of being on a boat. In the olden days, they would take a ship, maybe for weeks, maybe for months, and finally they see in the clearing the port of Akko or Yafo, and they settle in Eretz Yisrael, and they're so excited. And after a month or so, they realize they have no money. How are they going to survive? Support the kids, take care of everybody. And the husband says, let me just go off, travel overseas to try to make some money, and I'll send it, I'll bring it back. And the man disappears for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, he even says the Pele Yoetz, 10 years of his life. He's living a life of anguish, and his wife even more so. Her dreams of living so peacefully and radiantly with her husband, they've been dashed on the rocks because he's not here. So many terrible things can happen to those that have to travel around, to their body, to their soul. Traveling is not easy. Making a living is not easy. The things you'll be exposed to spiritually and emotionally, it's not easy. And therefore, it's really not the time to go to Eretz Yisrael if that's what you're going to be doing. But people that live in Chutz La'aretz, outside of Israel, they tend to find their parnasa, their livelihood, in the place where they are. And now, therefore, if you'll take care of yourself, and you'll come into Eretz Yisrael in your older age, as an older man and woman, as is fitting, he writes, you'll live out the length of your days there in a good way. Even if you live a life of tsar, it's difficult, you don't have so much money, the bedding is not so good, the tissues feel like sandpaper, The food is not always available. The water sometimes hurts your tummy. All the different things that happen to a person. There's wars that are going on. There's all the different things that are happening to a person in Eretz Yisrael. Nevertheless, l'chaim toivim yechashev l'viroi v'atovet. There's so much good in Eretz Yisrael with the kedusha, with the spiritual growth that a person could garner for themselves, even if there are troubles and challenges that he must overcome. In his eyes, everything is good because he has the schus to be in the Holy Land. All the best.